According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, they are the second fastest growing group of self-employed people. I'm talking about young entrepreneurs who are under the age of 25. What makes them so determined to branch out on their own and not work for someone else? Today on Another View, we'll explore the drive behind being a young entrepreneur. I'm Barbara Ham Lee. Another View is next, right after this news from NPR.
Discussing today's topics from an African American perspective, this is Another View.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Another View. I'm Barbara Ham Lee. If you're 40 or older, you were probably told that the key to a better life was a good education, and that in turn would get you a good job and financial security. Well, thousands of young people all across our region are deciding that spending years climbing the corporate ladder is not for them. They've got a dream and a determination to make big things happen on their own. The Small Business Administration says entrepreneurs under the age of 25 are the fastest growing group of self-employed people in the nation. Today on Another View, we'll explore why and how the tables are turning with our guest. Dr. Battinto is a Hampton University journalism professor who teaches his students about the importance of owning their own businesses. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Glad to have you. Montiera Straughter, she's a 20-year-old college student and a business owner who has her own clothing line. Hi, Montiera. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's good to have you here. Jessica Yowell is a 16-year-old high school student who was inspired by the show Face Off and started her own business creating characters for local theater productions. How are you, Jessica? Good. I'm doing great. And Brennan West is a teacher at PB Young Elementary School who teaches grade school age children about being entrepreneurs. Brennan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. Along with one of his students, 10-year-old Delante Beeman. Hi, Delante. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. So glad to have you with us today. So, welcome to Another View. All of you entrepreneurs, I feel like there's just money in the room. So, I want to start with you, Montiera, because you have a business right now.
Correct.
Tell us about your clothing line.
The name of my clothing line is College Girls Apparel, and basically it's a loungewear clothing line with T-shirts, sweatpants, yoga pants, beanies, crew necks, things of that nature. But we're looking to branch out into like street chic and fitness attire and pajamas, just everything that entails college girls, from the dorm room, comforter sets, and everything you could think of, stationery pens, notebooks, and everything of that nature.
Now, what year are you at Hampton University?
I'm a senior, but I'm in a 5-year MBA program, so I have one more year to get my master's.
And are you getting your master's in MBA?
Yes.
Okay. And so what made you decide before you've even finished school to start your own business?
Well, ever since I was a child, I was pretty much very business-minded, selling candy in elementary school, braiding hair in middle school. I just always liked to generate my own income. But as a child, I always liked to get dressed up and, design clothes, and it was called Average Pink when I was 9 years old. But in one of my accounting classes, this is not good, but she was preaching and I didn't like it. So I'm just doodling on the papers, Hampton girls, Hampton girls are pretty. Just, saying like, oh, this will look cute on sweatshirts and T-shirts. And then I was like, if I put Hampton, that means Hampton might try to get some money. So I'm not going to put Hampton. I'm going to broaden the audience, and I'm just going to do college girls, whether they go to UCLA or ODU or USC or Pepperdine, they can wear it.
So did you actually come up with a business plan, or did you? I just started.
I just started. Living in California, Los Angeles, you have a lot of resources. Downtown LA, the fashion district. So my grandfather gave me $50. I bought 3 sweatshirts, got them printed up. People were like, how can I get one? How can I get one? did a few pre-orders at home. Hampton had a African American Entrepreneur Expo in February of 2011. My mom ordered 25 sweatshirts. They sold out the first day.
Wow.
So God was like, this is for you.
Now, Jessica, you are working on your business. Your business is brand new.
Yes.
And it's about prosthetic makeup. Am I saying that right?
Yes, prosthetic, prom, weddings, parties, everything around that.
Okay. And how did you get interested in that as a business?
I watched an episode of Face Off, and I've always been interested in fantasy, and I loved it so much. I decided that was going to be my career, and yeah.
So right now you're working you've actually done makeup for weddings and other events, but you also have done some things for plays and all, haven't you?
Yes, I worked with the Addicts. They were putting on a play this summer. They needed a victim that had a car crash wound, and I needed to turn a boy really old.
Wow.
And that was fun.
My goodness. So you take the time to do all that makeup and so forth. What do you want to do with that going forward?
Hopefully work on a lot of horror movies, a lot of fantasy, create a lot of creatures, and get an Oscar or Grammy, whatever it is.
Going for that Oscar award already. That is great. Now, Delonte, I understand you also had a business experience this summer. And were you with the lemonade stand?
Yes.
At PB Young Elementary School. Tell me what you did.
I actually made money by selling cookies of lemonade and selling everything else of lemonade. Like anything I could make of lemonade, I made it. But the lemonade had to be yellow. And I made Oreo cookies and chocolate chip lemonade cookies.
So did you like the making part better or the selling part better?
I like the selling part better.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what about the selling part? What excited you about that?
I was the CEO, and I had to make sure everybody was in line and make sure everything at the cash register
That's
was
exactly
all right.
what CEOs do. That's great. So do you think you'll be the CEO of your own company when you grow up?
Yes.
Okay. You know, Brennan, I heard Montiera say when I was in middle school, I sold cookies. When I was in elementary school, I did this or that. Is that your goal, to start children from a very young age
that
thinking
is the goal.
about
The goal
entrepreneurship?
is to plant the seed early. There's no need to wait or prolong the exposure or the experience. Right now is the time where they're, to me, more inept to take on the principles and the qualities of entrepreneurship or anything that you want to teach them at this particular age, because they're starting to begin their own personalities, become their own person. So why not start them now? And that's exactly what we did. We started early.
So tell me about the program at PB Young. What do you all do with the kids?
Well, basically, it was a young entrepreneur program, the Young Knights Academy, this past summer. We had the kids, it was about 30 students in total, and we broke them up into 3 different groups. We had face painting as one company, Lemonade as another company, our CEO sitting beside me, and we had a photography company. Each group had to create their own marketing, their own promotions, everything from the ground on up. They had to choose what type of lemonade they wanted. They had to choose if they wanted to sell other things with the lemonade, such as the cookies, as he was speaking about. When you came to face painting, what type of face paint do you want to use? What type of actual stencils do you want to use? What type of images do you actually want to paint? So they had the chance to choose everything that they wanted to do for these particular companies.
And young people then, they also, I would imagine, then had to use their math skills, their English skills, and so forth.
They had the cashiers that they had to put those math skills to use and giving people correct change. So we had a soft
pricing.
opening. Pricing and everything. So we had a soft opening and a grand opening. And the soft opening, of course, is a soft. We just wanted them to have the experience, the exposure, and get them ready for what the grand opening will actually entail. So they had to do the monies, divide up the inventory, make sure they had everything that they needed, and I feel like they did an awesome job with it.
Did you notice any of the students that you said to yourself, he's going to be a leader?
Yes,
he's going to be.
It's several students. As Mr. Beeman is here with me now, there was another one, Jerramiah Epps. He was very gung-ho, if you will, about the whole idea, and several other students that aren't here with us today. I was surprised, to be honest with you, at how much they took to the material that was given to them, and how excited they were overall about the overall program. I was very pleased.
So, Delonte, what part didn't you like about being an entrepreneur?
Really, I didn't like when it first started, because I didn't know what we was gonna do, and it was boring. But as we kept going, it started getting funner and funner.
So do you think that when you go to college that you'll be looking towards starting your own business or starting it even earlier than that?
Yes.
What kind of business do you think you'd like to do?
I don't know yet, really.
Okay, that's fair at this age. Battinto, you see these young people already engaged. You work with young people at Hampton University. What are you telling them? Why the paradigm shift from just get your good education and go work for someone else?
Well, I have to say that you mentioned in the opening that if you're 40 or over, that you're used to hearing get your education and go into the workforce. But my experience and really how I was raised was to always have multiple streams of income, to have something of your own. And this came from my grandfather, who was actually a man who only had a 5th grade education, but he started a cab company, and he had his full-time job that he did, and he had several other businesses that he started. So it was sort of, embedded in me from a young age that you should have something of your own. I think what we're seeing now is young people have a desire to create their own business, to take their idea and see if they can monetize it. And they have, really grand dreams of what they can do with their concept. I think that what is key for us in the educational environment is how to empower that passion that we're seeing in young people, that they want to do something, they have an idea. How can we empower them to take their idea and to grow it?
And also, though, how do you keep, for example, if Montiera came to you and said, you know what, my business is taking off, I am flying, I'm out of here, I'm not going to finish my education at Hampton University or whatever school a young person may go to. A lot of the performers and so forth, Jay-Z and others who were in college but decided to follow their entrepreneurial dream. How do you balance that? So, and do you think it's important that the kids finish? Well,
that's an interesting point that you make. I've had an opportunity almost 2 years ago to visit Arizona State University and the Cronkite School of Journalism and Communications, and they have an entrepreneurship track for students in the program. And so, talking with the professors out there, the question came, they talked about students who had started businesses while they were in college and had left college to go to Silicon Valley and get venture capital funding to start their business. They saw that as a success story, that you actually had students who had businesses that were so successful that they decided to leave college and to go start the business. So then the question was, okay, so what does success look like? Students who get a degree from your program, or students who go and start a business as a result of your program? And the answer was both. I think that in a case-by-case basis, it depends. It depends on how successful the business can turn out to be. If someone were to start a business and it was sustainable, it was able to provide them a sustainable lifestyle, it had opportunity for continued growth, I would say absolutely, it's a success story for that student to go and start that business and to run that business. I would caution that there is additional education that they would need to get to be able to continue to run that business. Okay, so don't shut off the education completely, because there's things that you need to know as a business owner to be able to keep your idea going. You've got it going and you've got it running, but a lot of times the business will start off doing very, very well just because it's a new concept. But how do you create sustainability over the long term? That may be where your education still has value.
Brennan, I hear you over here going,
I just agree to a lot of things that he's saying. Mainly one, the fact that it starts early. Somebody instilled that desire, that knowledge, that belief in him and in all of us. So for kids such as they come from a demographic such as Delonte, they don't always have that early bestillment in them to go out and get and do for themselves and be your own boss. So I guess that's what we all kind of agree upon is trying to do for ourselves and to instill in others to do for themselves.
Montiera, in your family, you come from a family of entrepreneurs, don't you?
Yeah. My mom, she owns a chain of child care centers. She's an educator as well. She's also a high school teacher, but that's just her passion. But she has different daycare centers. And my father owns a general contracting company. And my aunt and uncle, they have like this realtor, I don't know, something with real estate or I don't know. And like everyone,
but everybody has their own.
Everyone seems to do something on their own, and it starts at a really, really young age. So it wasn't like it was beat in my head, but it kind of came natural, always.
So were there discussions in your house about how the business is run, and or think about what you might want to do? How did you, growing up, how you said they didn't beat it into you, but there must have been conversations.
Well, my mom is an educator, so she's just really big on education. She doesn't care what you do with it. As long as you get that degree and you get a nice job, she's fine. But she likes for us to be creative and implement our creativity into business. Everybody in my family does business. So it's kind of like creativity is the fun part, and then business is the foundation. And I agree with him when he said, like people get these businesses early on and they feel like, wow, it's booming, let me get out of here. No, because education is the foundation. So you might have a great idea, but like he said, to keep it going, if you want longevity, there are those business management classes, those entrepreneurship classes, those marketing, advertising classes, things that you're going to learn from those classes that maybe you might not think of at the time. So once you learn that foundation, you always have those notes to refer to, and you always have those professors to speak to and get, advice from. Wisdom is the best thing for
Basic
the future.
concepts.
Yeah.
Jessica, was that conversation held in your household too, in terms of don't be afraid to reach out on your own, start your own?
Yes, my mother supported me 100%. She has her own business. She owns a production company, and that really inspired me. She's done a lot of amazing things. And yeah, she really instilled in me being my own boss.
So as you think about going to college, because you're a senior now, right?
Junior,
okay. I know, one more year. But as you're thinking about going to college and so forth, are you thinking more towards maybe I'll go towards the business side, an MBA, that kind of thing, or more towards honing your craft first as a makeup artist?
Actually, I planned on majoring in viticulture and then going to a makeup school in California. Like one of the big ones where they teach you how to do prosthetics, and you actually get to internship on the movies and sets and see how the makeup artists do it and help them out.
Battinto, what do you say to students who have a really good idea and they're good at it? Say they're good at, I don't know, baking cookies or anything, but they don't have the rest of the entrepreneurial side. How do you get them past just being able to be good at the thing, but actually run it as a business?
Well, again, I mean, that's where the education aspect comes into play. First you said something that's very important, is that, most businesses, entrepreneurial ventures like this start with a passion, something that, people really, truly love doing and do well and that they're known for. But for a student who may have a concept that they want to grow, then we have to walk them through the process of, okay, how valuable is your idea? You're good at this, but is it scalable? Can you take this and make it grow? Who else is doing the same thing? What are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? You got to do a SWOT analysis, okay? That's basic business. And helping them to understand that process. A lot of times when you introduce that to students, they're like, wow, well, I really hadn't thought about doing all of that. And then some kind of say, well, I really don't want to do that. Well, okay, fine. That's fine. But the students who want to go that extra mile and to understand the process of taking a business idea from a concept to something that is truly sustainable and has the potential to really be something, those are the ones that you're able to work with.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question to the group, and any of you can answer, but are there people who should not be entrepreneurs? Can anybody be an entrepreneur?
Yes.
You think so, Montiera?
Yes.
Why?
I mean, I feel like everyone has the equal opportunity to be an entrepreneur, but in order to have success, you have to be focused.
Discipline.
People think like, oh, I'm my own boss. I wake up when I want to. I do this when I want to. You still should have some structure. Like, there's still rules to being an entrepreneur. Some people think, oh, I don't have to clock in at a certain job. I don't have to do certain things. But being your own boss is pretty much harder because you are your own drive. No one's pushing you for a check to do it. It's your vision that you want to implement and execute and see rise, you know? So, I mean, everybody has the equal opportunity, but in order to be successful, you definitely have to have that drive and discipline.
Okay.
I agree to everything she just said. She hit the nail right on the head. She got it. She got it.
Well, that's the difference between having a business and having a passion. You can have a passion. I mean, you know, you can bake cakes as a passion and maybe give them to your friends or sell a few maybe in your neighborhood. But to really be a true business, there's some extra steps that have to go into that, and not everybody was willing to do that.
Go the extra mile.
So for African American students in particular, you know, is this the new trend in terms of education, and are educators actually kind of pushing students towards entrepreneurship, Battinto?
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's. I'm not going to say it's a new trend. What I think we see happening, though, because of a lot of things, maybe in the media, you know, you're seeing people who are, you know, entrepreneurs who are being successful. But not only that, I think that one of the things that may be feeding this is that the economy, the way the economy's been over the past half decade, and people, you know, losing jobs. So maybe you may have a student whose family may have experienced some sort of hardship, and that they've had to maybe do some sort of entrepreneurial venture to help to make ends meet. And so there's a seed that's planted into the student's mind. Hey, I can be an entrepreneur as well. But I need to say this, though, and I think it's important to point out that all entrepreneurial ventures will not necessarily result in you being a millionaire, okay? And that is fine, too. If you create something that maybe it's not something that will supplant your day job, okay? Maybe it's something to just supplement your income. It can impact your lifestyle. It can take you to a different level in terms of things that you're able to do. Okay, first of all, that is a success. But not only that, if coming out of school, if we're able to teach students about entrepreneurship and understanding how to make money, how to monetize an idea, it makes them even more valuable to companies. Why? Because you go to work for a company and you have an idea, you're able to say, hey, this is a product or service that we can offer that can help to diversify our company and bring in a different revenue stream. Okay, that makes that student even more valuable than the next person, because companies want people who can help to diversify and be able to bring in revenue. It also plants a seed in the students to help them to understand the business process, to be able to think about, as an employee, to think as management thinks, to be able to understand that, hey, if we are having trouble with our bottom line, if we're not selling as much as we had been selling, you need to know then, hey, my job security is probably at risk here, and I need to be thinking about either doing something else, okay, or trying to pull some sort of entrepreneurial venture together. So it helps, in all sorts of realms, to be able to plant seeds within students to think as an entrepreneur and as a business person.
Montiera, what was the fear, if there was any, for you in terms of starting or owning your own business?
There was never really a fear. It was just like, go do it. Just do it. Because if you get knocked down, you know something that you didn't know before. And as opposed to thinking about what could go wrong, just try it. If something goes wrong, hey, get back up there, try to analyze what you did, pick apart what happened, see how you can prevent those mistakes, move forward, and grow.
Have you ever had anything go wrong thus far?
I'm going to be honest, yes. I won't say everything. It wasn't given to me, no. They did believe in it. I did start, I don't know. I started with my own money first, but money management was my issue. Like, I was making, I'm still making profit, but as you can see, I'm kind of stylish, so I'm kind of shopaholic. So there were times when I wouldn't touch the money. Like in the beginning when I started making profit and generating income, I would just like put it in a bank account. Then I just started seeing the money grow and grow and grow. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to just pinch off of it. Then I started snagging off of it. Then I just took it off. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
That budget thing, huh?
Then I ended up in a hole. So when you're asking Daddy for money again, he's just like, this company has been in existence for a good time. Like, where's your money? And I'm just like, well, I've just been partying and stuff. He's like, that's not responsible. And I knew it wasn't responsible, but living in the moment and thinking, longevity, hey, money management, time management, so important. So I've learned so much.
And again, that's something that you can learn in school.
Yeah.
Money management.
Absolutely.
But the best teacher is experience.
Oh, yeah.
If you're just joining us, we're talking about young entrepreneurs with Battinto Batts, a Hampton University journalism professor who teaches his students about the importance of owning their own businesses. Montiera Straughter, a 20-year-old college student and business owner who has her own clothing line. Jessica Yowell, a 16-year-old high school student who was inspired by the show Face Off and started her own business creating characters for local theater productions. Brennan West, a teacher at PB Young Elementary School who teaches grade school age kids about being entrepreneurs, and Delonte Beeman, who is a young entrepreneur himself. What do you think when you hear them talking about education and about owning your own business, Delonte? Does it make you excited?
Yes, because they are my future, and when they grow up and keep growing, then I'm going to grow and become successful like them someday.
That's fantastic. And you will. You absolutely will.
Sure will.
So let's talk about the money management part of this, because what do you teach the students, Brennan, as you're working on the lemonade stand and the face painting company and so forth? How do you impart those budgetary skills?
Inventory. You have to know what you need. You have to know what you had, so you can know what you need to go buy. If you don't take an accurate count of your inventory, particularly as far as the business concerns we were talking about with the business companies that they had, then you're not going to know what you need. If you don't know what you need, then you're liable to spend more money than what you should, or you're liable to not spend enough money to get the actual supplies that you need. So that definitely plays a big part in the overall management of business.
Battinto, I know that you also work with journalism and or media students, and the idea of owning your own media company, or doing things in media that aren't necessarily tangible in terms of sales, like buying lemonade, but that it's more of a professional service that's being offered. How do you teach the students in terms of, how do they know how much to charge? How much are they worth? And what do you tell them about that?
Well, you can be an entrepreneur without having a particular product or inventory, but offering a service, consulting services. And so helping students understand the value of their time, and how to market that. We want to teach them. So if you wanted to give someone advice on developing a marketing plan, if you as a student, these students have value in terms of helping businesses to be able to reach their demographic. If I wanted to reach a younger demographic with a business, I'm going to probably want to talk to a young person and say, okay, how do I create more business with your demographic? I would hire them. And so the students, they need to know, so what's the value for time? And a lot of times when we say, you might think about what would you charge? And inevitably what they charge is so much lower than what the actual market rate is. And so they're very modest. And so then we have to expose them to, hey, this is what, based off of the research that we have, this is what people who do this type of work, this is what they charge per hour. So maybe you may not want to charge as much as someone who is a seasoned professional, but there's a way to be there.
Well, and the other part of that is the whole idea of doing your research and doing your homework.
Right.
Jessica, you talked about the research that you've done in terms of trying to figure out where to go to school. How difficult was that for you in terms of trying to decide, I like this, and this is what I want to do for my life. So how do I make this business grow?
You mean the makeup school? It was very difficult to choose because there are so many like name brand makeup schools that offer a lot of different things. Like one of the other ones, they specified in the makeup for the models on the runway, while another one specified in horror, and another one specified in fantasy. And it was just kind of like, I was going
you had
for
to do a lot of research back and
Yes.
forth. So when someone calls you now, what do you think about in terms of your business? I call you and say, I'm going to a really fancy dance and I need makeup. You know, how do you charge? Tell me about your structure. What do you do?
Well, the products I use are really expensive, and I couldn't bring myself to charge that much because I have fun while I'm doing the job. So I decided to go by $25 a face and go by that. So I could keep buying the makeup.
And what do your peers say? Do you have other friends who are entrepreneurs also?
No, but they're all very, they're fascinated by the job that I do. Like, they saw my business cards and they were like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It is so cool. Do you have friends, Montiera, who are also in business?
Yes, I do. Not very many in the entrepreneur, world, but my friend Temperance, who brought me here, she wants to own her hotels. She wants to do hotels. These other girls that I know, they have a Virgin hair company. It's called Supreme Goddess, also on campus. So every girl, they're buying the bundles of hair and wearing it. This other guy, Julius, is starting, I don't know, like a hair company where he's, teaching people how to do hair, and Sajay McAlpine is doing makeup. I think Hampton is business-based pretty much. Everybody pretty much has a gimmick, and they're just working at it.
Is that's by design then?
Yeah, it is actually. I need to say, I teach in the School of Journalism and Communications, but I'm also the director of the William R. Harvey Leadership Institute, and we offer a minor in leadership studies, and many of our students are in the 5-year MBA program. But yeah, you're right. It is sort of embedded in the Hampton culture. I mean, Dr. Harvey, in addition to being the president, he's a businessman, and he's been the owner of a Pepsi-Cola bottling company for a number of years. And so thinking entrepreneurially, again, it is part of the Hampton culture. It's sort of embedded into the mindset of the students. And I think what ends up happening is that if you have a student who has a successful venture, something that they're marketing and that they're doing, and if you see this particular student doing very well with whatever it is, T-shirts, baking, what have you, you may not have that same idea, but you may have something else that you may be inspired to do, that you may have your own hustle or your own grind, as the kids say.
So what is the biggest barrier to successful entrepreneurship, do you think?
Access to capital. Access to capital that's going to get you beyond the startup phase, getting you to that next level. That's going to be able to, help you to, market yourself. If you have a product, how do you build an inventory? How do you run it? How do you hire employees to sort of build your infrastructure? That's the key. And, again, to get to that phase, you have to be serious about what it is that you're doing. I mean, if you're going to go to a bank or venture capitalist, and request funding, well, the thing that they're going to look for is, okay, if I'm going to invest in your business, okay, I'm taking a risk here. What's the chance that I'm going to get a return on this investment? And when you go and have that conversation, you got to know what you're talking about. You got to be able to say, this is my product. This is what we're looking at in terms of, how we think revenue is going to look. And it's got to be based on sound business judgment. But yes, the key to that, is getting access to capital. And we're seeing more of that. We're seeing more venture capitalists who are helping, growing businesses now. You can actually, you can put your business online and request startup funding. Okay, there are people who want to provide seed capital for ventures. You can do that, and so there is more access. But what I would say is the really biggest barrier is getting access to funding to grow it.
And now I ask this of the group also. So is it really necessary to sit down in the beginning and really come up with a business plan? Brennan, I want to start with you. Or should you just jump in there?
No. The business plan is crucial. is crucial because
I think that's something that stops a lot of people because they start thinking about, this is going to be really complicated and I can't do this. I just bake these cakes.
Let's say it in reference to trying to get capital. If you have somebody that's willing to back you on a sound idea and you have a good business plan to give to them, they're more inclined to back you than you just, I had this idea, I wanted to do this, and I thought about doing that. No, you have a plan. This is the route that you're going to go. These are the steps you are looking to see this thing through, and they're more inclined to help you because you have a set plan of how you're going to do what you want to do with your company. So you got to have a business plan.
You want to follow up?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you're truly serious about it, if you're truly serious about taking your idea or your concept to the next level, you have to do what serious businesses do. And you put together a business plan.
Tell me about your experience putting your business plan together, Montiera.
I definitely want to agree with the both of them. The business plan is like your pathway. Even ideas that you had, they really don't come to life until they come on the paper. And then you brainstorm more, and then you elaborate on those ideas. And I think the business plan structure is set up for success. Like at school, they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you need to plan your business, plan the strategy, the marketing, your bookkeeping, everything. But like I said, I just sort of jumped in. And right now I'm in the process of writing an actual business plan. I'm always jotting down ideas and, twisting them, turning them, executing them as they go. But if you ask me right now, do I have an actual booklet of a business plan, it is incomplete. So I'm in a class right now, Entrepreneurship 350 with Dr. Travis Travell. And we're working it out step by step. So I definitely agree.
Jessica, the idea of putting together a business plan, does that scare you or have you done it?
No, it doesn't scare me, but I also have a plan B. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if this doesn't work, you got something else that you plan. What's your plan B?
To major in viticulture because I've always loved being outside. So I plan to eventually manage my own grape vineyard and make different kinds of wine, and also do special effects makeup on the side until my business gets to where I want it to be.
See, that's that entrepreneurial mind again. If this doesn't work, I'll do this. I just think that's just fabulous. So let's talk about mentorship. Is it good to have a mentor that you can turn to, that you can talk to about business?
I myself try to be a mentor. I believe that there are certain values and things that I was taught that are key to me, that I believe helped me to get to where I am today, that I could easily bestow into somebody else to help them better themselves, to get them to where I am as a young black man. Mr. Beeman, as he sits here now, he's good at school. He's very articulate with his words, and I feel a little bit of myself in him. So if I can guide him to the route that I am going on, so be it. That works for me. My day is complete. My job is complete as a teacher.
You're a teacher. Do you also have a business?
I'm aspiring now to be my own businessman myself. I always wanted to own and operate my own production company. I started off in Norfolk State, got a bachelor's degree in the mass communications. So now I'm in the school field, and I love it. But eventually, I'm gonna get back to that original plan and hatch it out,
and pull that together,
bring it to fruition.
Do you have a mentor, Montiera? And what does she or he teach you?
I do, but I don't. And I try to be a mentor. So I have celebrity mentors in my mind, and I follow them on like social networks like Instagram and things of that nature. I don't know if you're familiar with Angela Simmons. She's Rev Run's daughter. And I just love the way she carries herself. In high school, she got straight A's. She didn't go to college, but she wrote a business plan for her father, and she had pastry shoe company and sweatsuits. And her father actually invested in it, and it's a successful business now. But as for me being a mentor, that's the other part of my business. We have College Girls Apparel, and then we have College Girls Inc., where we go around to different boys and girls clubs and high schools and do college girls seminars. So we basically provide insight on our first years of college and our experience, everything from choosing our major, group of friends,
that's nice.
Everything. We give the girls an opportunity to get insight hands-on. They speak to us directly. It's a panel of us, and it was just something I wrote up, and I just did it at different high schools and boys and girls clubs and YMCAs in Los Angeles. But right now, I'm actually venturing out, so there are different college girls representatives on different campuses. And at Tuskegee and Spelman, I just got done doing the interviewing process with them, and they're doing it at their schools now, along with selling apparel, and they're earning money through it as well. So I'm building an empire right now.
There you go. There you go. Jessica, do you have a mentor?
Not really.
Not really. So you're kind of doing this on your own. Not even your mom?
Oh,
you know, she was an inspiration at least.
Yes, she is. Yes, I would consider my mom my mentor.
Okay. Battinto, this whole idea of us African Americans building their own businesses also can lead to legacy in the future, because that's been one of the issues within our community in terms of having real money to leave for the next generation.
Yeah, that is very important from a number of aspects. You talk about legacy and being able to build wealth within your family. It's very important. Because what ends up happening, if you're a business owner and you're successful with your business, then chances are it becomes part of the DNA for your family. Your children, your grandchildren, they experience something as a result of the business that you have, and so then they aspire to be business owners. Chances are, it may not be exactly what the family business is, it may be something different, but that is inspired in them. But creating wealth within the community is very, very important. I think that we're seeing, if we think about where things were back in the day, I think we are sort of coming around full circle and seeing the importance of developing our own and creating that legacy.
During the days of segregation, we had our own businesses. I mean, that was just part that, like you were saying about your grandfather and other relatives who had to have their own businesses because that was the way that you got things accomplished. For people who don't have positive role models in their lives to encourage them for business, what would you say to them? I want to get a response from each of you on that. Starting with you, Battinto. What would you say to them when they are trying very hard to make their business successful and they've got someone in their ear going, just go get a job. You need to take care of yourself. Don't try to do this entrepreneurial thing.
Well, number one, you got to believe in yourself. You have to have confidence in what it is that you're trying to do. You have to believe in your concept. You have to seek out people who have done what you are trying to do. Maybe not the exact same business, but people who have been entrepreneurs and understand the road understand what's on that road and have traveled it. And go and approach them in a business-like manner with your concept and ask them for their time. You'd be surprised at people who will be willing to give you their time just because you're eager to learn and to hear what it is that they have to share with you. And so I would say seek out people who you feel as though have something to offer that are able to help you.
Okay. Montiera?
As far as being productive with your business plan or what have you, keep God first. You have to just pray to Him to give you the strength to get through all the negativity that people are throwing at you. You have your ideas, you execute them, you brainstorm. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people who are willing to help build the ladder for you and help you to the top. Also, I agree with him. Get someone who, they may not be in the exact field that you want to go in, but they can help navigate you where you want to be. So just believe in yourself and work at it. It's not going to come to you with ease. Nothing worth having is going to come with ease. You have to work for it. And as long as you seek help and with genuine help, you'll be surprised what type of help you get with a certain approach. Like you said, come at them correct. Don't come, hey man, I got an idea and I wish you could. No, I have an idea and I would like for you to help me.
Okay. Jessica, what would you say to them?
I would say to shoot for the stars and chase your dreams. Also, surround yourself with positive people. Don't surround yourself with people who tell you that you can't do it. Because you don't want to end up like years later at a job that you hate, like sitting at your desk wondering what would have happened if I had tried, and then see somebody else maybe doing the same thing and go, oh, so that's what could have happened. Yes, you don't want to. Yes, you want to do amazing things, and you have to believe in yourself.
Okay.
I don't know much more I can add to what's already been said, other than to just agree to what has already been said. Surround yourself with people who have like minds, who are doing the same things that you're doing, who are trying to go to the same star system that you're trying to go to. You know, if you're working with somebody who's not on the same page as you, then nothing's going to turn the page. There you go.
Turn the page. Wow.
Turn the page.
That is great. And what would you say, Mr. Delante?
I would say that if I just
Is there somebody in your life that you can go to and who would encourage you in terms of being your own boss?
Well, my grandma. And my grandma is trying to make a lot of money right now, so she can't see me that much. But when she finished the job that she trying to do, she said she gonna be able to buy us a lot of things. And she said since I got the CEO and the certificate, she might make a lemonade company that you can
run.
All right.
Oh, that's fantastic. And would you like to do that?
Yes.
That is great. That is great. I wish you a lot of luck, young man. I can tell you're gonna go far. So, Montiera, you are about to expand your line a little bit, and it is going to be into.
We're getting pajamas, so we're gonna launch the pajamas in December, like Christmas time. So the photo shoot can be like slumber party, kitchen with the cookies, cupcakes, pajamas under the tree. We're gonna do fitness. We're gonna do the sportswear, the yoga pants, sports bras, shorts, and everything that a college girl entails or that she desires is what the company will offer.
And tell us your website so that people can go there and buy some of your clothes.
Okay, the website, you can purchase the apparel at www.collegegirls.bigcartel.com.
Okay, say it one more time, a little bit slower so that our listeners can get it.
Okay, it's www.collegegirls.bigcartel.com.
Okay, and they can purchase their things there. Battinto, you get the final word. We got about 2 minutes left. Just in general, what would you say to people who have been thinking about starting their own business, who may be excited about it, who may be in the middle of it? What's your words of encouragement?
Hey, if you have an idea, go for it. You'll never know if you don't try. Educate yourself. Read. To learn as much as you possibly can about starting your business and making it grow. Chase your passion first. Don't worry so much about, I'm going to become a millionaire. Chase your passion. Do something that you're really passionate about, and if you do that, you'll do it well. You'll develop a reputation for it, and the rewards will come to you. And as we've said, be consistent. Do it again and again and again, and stick with it. Every day is not going to be good. But,
and don't be afraid of failure. Go ahead.
I also have one more quote to, just inspire people. I read this quote on Instagram the other day. It said, if you don't follow your dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs.
Ooh. Wow. Woo. That's fantastic. And what a way to go out. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate this conversation.
Thank you.
Hopefully we have inspired some people to become entrepreneurs. And stay with us, everyone. We will be right back.
Hi, I'm Claude McKnight of Group Take 6, and you're listening to Another View, Fridays at noon at WHRV 89.5 FM.
And welcome back. While it takes some of us years to figure out what we want to do, you're about to meet an 11-year-old who, much like our guest today, has her future plans all laid out, and she is pursuing them with passion. Our Lisa Godley recently had the pleasure of sitting down with Miss Gabrielle Pinkney, a name you're sure to hear again and again.
Climb every mountain, search high into
Gabrielle Pinkney isn't your typical 11-year-old. Gabrielle, or Bree as her friends call her, is always on the go, whether she's competing in pageants, singing at church, or participating in special events. And she's been performing for audiences since she was in the first grade.
When I was 6 years old, I said, "Mom, I want to do praise and worship." And she was like, "You can't sing, Gabrielle. What are you talking about?" And I said, "Yes, I can. Anything is possible." And when I started singing, she's like, "Wow, I really love her singing.
She says her favorite song is You Are Great by Juanita Bynum, and her favorite singer is Whitney Houston.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead. This was my second year. I just went to Miss Virginia 2013, and I got second runner-up, so I'm happy.
And she's not about to slow down.
Let the children's laughter remind us how we used. I will continue to compete in pageants, so I'm very excited to continue.
Many people are afraid to perform in front of large crowds. Not Bree.
No, I'm never nervous. I just have fun and be myself.
While singing is her passion, her first priority is school. Her mother, LaScotia Pinckney, makes sure of that.
Our rule is, in order for you to be able to do all these extra things, school comes first. So being able to have the privilege to do those things, it is a motivator for her to excel in school. And she does it. She just loves what she does. And as she say, if you love what you do, then it's not work.
I would like to be a famous singer and write my own songs. So I would also like to be a songwriter, and I would also like to be on Broadway. In order to be a singer, I think that you should work really hard so you can make that happen and just be yourself and really enjoy the moment.
Bree has already written her first single, titled Anything is Possible.
And I really wanted to write the song to tell kids just like me that have low self-confidence that they can do anything they want to if they believe that they can.
Bree definitely has a lot on her plate. Her mom says she's astonished at times when she hears her daughter talking about her future.
It's amazing to me that at 11 years old, she has this great plan for her future. So I think it's just a part of who she is. As the old people would say, she was just born with an old soul. So it's just, I think, her destiny. It is what she was born to do.
For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.
Wow, what a wonderful young lady. Gabriella recently shot her first video featuring her single and continues to make singing appearances all over the region. If you like today's program and you'd like to hear it again or share it with a loved one, please go to anotherviewradio.org, and there you'll find today's broadcast under most recent episodes. And while you're there, please be sure to sign up for our eView newsletter. It's a once-a-week reminder of upcoming shows. And if you'd like to hear a certain topic on Another View, we'd love to hear from you. So either send us a note on our website, anotherviewradio.org, or you can contact me directly at barbara.ham.lee@whro.org. Our theme music is composed and performed by Jay Sennett. Lisa Godley is our producer. Victor Bowen is our audio engineer. And I'm Barbara Ham Lee. Thank you so very much for joining us today. And we will see you next week with another edition of Another View.